Hi guys, Jasmine here. In this video I'm going to be talking to you about social work and spirituality. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I am a practicing social worker and I share my ongoing experiences that I have as a social worker on my channel. So definitely go ahead and subscribe if you're interested. Alright, let's get right into it. So I decided to talk about this topic because spirituality is something that's becoming more and more popular in the world these days. I think both spirituality and religion have been around for ages, but I think spirituality is starting to become more and more common these days. So yeah, I thought I would talk a little more around how spirituality can be incorporated into social work and how beneficial that can be for clients and for the work that we do. So yeah, okay, so the first time I came across spirituality in social work was when I did my second placement actually, which was in a hospital. They had a designated spiritual social worker who worked with patients that had been admitted into hospital and had like a spiritual aspect of their life that they wanted to sort of use in their healing process. So obviously there was it was incorporated into assessments and things like that, and that's how they were able to predict who's spiritual and who would like to incorporate spirituality into the work that's being done with them. Yeah, so that was the first experience that I had, and then the second experience is in my current job actually. So it's not really part of the assessment process, but a lot of the counselors that we work with incorporate things like mindfulness, meditation, body scanning, breathing exercises and things like that, because research has shown that it can be quite beneficial for people that have experienced trauma in any form. Okay, so what is spirituality? I feel like it's a completely different experience for everyone. Everyone might define it to be something else because it means different things to different people. So I'm not necessarily going to give a particular definition for it, but I'm going to give statements that generally relate to spirituality. So it could be seen as what gives meaning to life to a lot of people. It gives a sense of purpose to a lot of people. It gives a sense of connectedness to a lot of people as well, especially connection to like a higher being or a higher power or a higher thing, or to God or whatever people want to call it. It's generally sort of free form where people sort of use it how they want to use it. So it's a bit different to religion where there's generally like a set number of rules that people go by if they identify with a particular religion. Alright, so there's been lots of research on spirituality and how beneficial it can be when you're working with people. A lot of the time, spirituality is what gives meanings to a lot of people. So if you're working in, fields like mental health and fields where there's people that are suicidal and stuff like that, a lot of the time when beliefs around God and a higher purpose is incorporated, it can help people to see outside the problem and see outside what they might be experiencing this minute. So that's like sort of a positive way of incorporating spirituality into social work. The starting point of incorporating spirituality into social work is incorporating it in our assessment process. A lot of organizations sort of work, or a lot of social workers work holistically to identify and manage a lot of issues that clients might be presenting with, and we usually focus on like emotional, physical, financial, all those aspects of their well-being. So spiritual well-being is something that can be incorporated if we're wanting to work with an individual as a whole. So doing psychosocial assessments, we can ask questions around like if the person has any beliefs, or whether they're religious or whether they're spiritual, or whether they have any sort of practices or anything like that. And that can be a good way of sort of incorporating spirituality into your practice. Another way of incorporating spirituality into your practice is if clients identify to be spiritual or to be religious in any way, then you can support and link them into pastoral services, or even like spiritual workers in different centers and things like that. And I think the most important aspect of incorporating spirituality into your work is being open-minded and not respecting the difference between what your beliefs might be and what that of the clients might be, and allowing them to tap into their spirituality if they find it to be a resource or if they find it to be beneficial. And that's why it's important to identify what it means for them, what that spirituality or what that belief system means for them in their healing process or in their recovery process or in their life in general. Another way of working with clients and supporting the idea of spirituality is, they might have views around like certain spiritual practices that maybe they need to do before they get into sessions with you, or before they do appointments with you. For instance, if they're wanting to sort of say a prayer at the beginning and at the end of sessions, I think it's important that workers are respectful enough to participate in it. And in participating, that doesn't mean that you're the one that needs to pray, but just being quiet and being able to shut your eyes for like a minute or two, just as a sign of respect for whatever the client's beliefs are. And in saying that, obviously your views don't need to change on a particular religion or spiritual practice. It just means that you're allowing room for the clients to do what helps them in their healing process. And also, in circumstances where it's appropriate, certain spiritual practices can be incorporated into the sessions that you offer to clients. For instance, as I said, at my work, people do some body work, meditation and stuff like that in their practice. So if it's something that you're comfortable and confident and have studied about, then that's something that you might be able to sort of incorporate in your practice, and it could be beneficial for clients if of course they're comfortable with it as well. So the whole purpose of this video was to give you an overview of spirituality and how it links into social work and how beneficial it can be for clients. I was reading up on this topic earlier on today, and there were examples around people not wanting to say go on medication because they believe that God will heal them the natural way and stuff like that. And once social workers have been willing to link clients into spiritual workers or pastoral workers, or people in that field that have been able to work with them on those beliefs and things like that, most of the time they've come out being willing to be open to try medication to see how they go and stuff like that. So that's a very sort of positive example in the health setting. What do you guys know about spirituality and social work? If you guys know anything, definitely share it below. If you didn't know as well, let me know so I know that this is actually beneficial to you. Give this video a thumbs up if you found it helpful, and yeah, I guess I'll see you in my next video. Bye.